White Player Show. I am Landon Tangwall, joined by Keith Goon Conlon, Aeneas Hawkins. Gentlemen, how was your weekend?
Goon, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Let's start with Goon's tailgate first, because he was really excited about this tailgate.
Let's get right to the important
Let's
stuff.
get the important stuff, the tailgate.
All right, let's go.
Goon was centered right in between. I mean, it was pretty amazing. You couldn't get more in between Fox Big Noon Kickoff and College Game Day. Goon's tailgate was right there.
Yep.
You stopped by.
I did.
I stopped by.
I did more than stop by. I came through. Goon made me like 3 breakfast sandwiches. I was eating the whole time. I was having a good time. Perfect location again. I thought ESPN College Game Day looked fun, but the wise people that were at College Game Day quickly realized that the real party was at Goon's tailgate.
Correct.
And it started to get more and more filled. I had a great time. And those breakfast sandwiches, Goon, were incredible.
Yep. Well, I'm going to go through my what I cooked on Saturday. Got there at 6:40 in the morning. I did 5 pounds of thick cut bacon.
Wow.
6 pounds of Taylor ham / pork roll.
Yep.
36 Nathan's hot dogs. 45 hash browns.
Yep.
40 individual sausage patties. 3 pounds of blueberry maple sausage from Bell's.
Yep. That was really
At
good.
Bell's Market in Kane, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Shout out Bell's Market.
10 pounds of Greek sausage from Bell's Market in Kane, Pennsylvania, and 6 pounds of pulled barbecue chicken.
You know what? Let me just.
That was pregame.
I
was pregame,
made
bro.
the mistake of not coming back around for that Greek sauce. Was it Greek sausage?
Dude,
I was only there for the morning. Dude, Goon's Greek sausage.
I mean, everybody talks about Goon's sausage.
Yeah, your sausage, it's impressive, dude.
Yeah, it was.
I had we're not name dropping here, but
Shout out Carrie.
there was some pretty big tailgates this year. And then this year, a friend of ours, Gino Toretta from the University of Miami, shout out Heisman Trophy winner.
Yep.
Stops by the tailgate, and he's talking to me about he knew our guest Nolan Rucci's father a little bit. He knew guys I had gone to college with, and it's the whole. It doesn't matter where you go to school. You go through the same situation. Miami, Penn State. We're supposed to have this little hate for each other, but when it comes to tailgate, we're all having a good time. So he's up here doing a radio show. And he's eating, and he's telling me he's breaking down all the Italian sausages I'm making, and I'm like, listen, I'm telling you, my buddy's in Scranton. His granddad is about 4'9". His name is No, and he just makes this Italian sausage all day, and it's like name? God rest his soul. But he gave his grandson the recipe.
There you go.
And you guys were eating them and all that stuff. And Gino Toretta's like, oh my God, I taste the fennel, I taste this, and I'm like. Yeah, so do I. I'm like, yeah, it tastes good to me. Eggs, bacon, all that stuff. So just a fantastic tailgate. But I mean, I don't know, AJ. We could probably insert some kind of video that we were my wife Carrie had taken. We got there at 6:40 in the morning, and there was 3,000 people there.
Yep.
And the music was like level 912, but it was like, whew.
I was 2 miles away and could hear the music.
It was impressive.
Early.
How did you get to the stadium? Because Aeneas had texted me in the morning for a ride. I said, "But buddy, it's too late."
Yeah,
well,
I'm in line.
You drove in that morning.
Yeah,
right?
so I drove to Mechanicsburg the nights before from Downingtown. So I got in about 2 a.m. and then I woke up again at 5. And I'm like, I'm getting to State College. I'm gonna have a great time.
Thank God you did.
And listen, even with that, so I got in pretty easily, but then I had gotten there too late. It was impossible to get an Uber or a Lyft.
I had guys show up to my tailgate at 11 o'clock and say, we've been in line.
Yeah.
We got over the mountain, and it took 2.5 hours from the mountain.
Yeah, that's why I got up early. I got there. The thing is, so I'm not in as good of shape as I thought I was because I parked at the Aspen, which is about 1.5 miles to the stadium, and it was fine until I got to a point. I didn't realize this on my way there. There is a hill that's like 1 mile long.
With your calf
burning. Listen,
you thought you lost an Achilles.
Not just burning, cramping to the point where I had people walking behind me, and I'm in a Letterman jacket.
Mama Hawk, I will take care of you, boy. Mama Hawk, I got him.
Because I'm in this Letterman jacket, and I'm about to fall down because my calves are cramping, and I know that somebody behind me probably recognizes me as a Penn State football Letterman. So I'm pretending like my shoes are getting untied and stopping and taking breaks.
You're using 50-year-old tricks, dude.
Listen,
how old are you, Hawk?
I've had a lot of.
How old are you?
Dude. I'm 24.
You're using my tricks.
And,
this is my trick. I had to go down College Ave yesterday after doing the morning show with Landon and going to We Are Cheesesteaks. And I was like, oh, I got to get this phone call. And I'm sitting on the bench and just stretching, loosening up. No one was talking. I was talking to nobody, but I had to stop. I had to make it look good.
This is just what happens.
You're 24.
I'm 24. But this is the thing, and this is for the people back home who, if you don't know, it seems like a scholarship that you get for being an athlete is free to a certain point, and it is. And it's a great opportunity. But trust me, when I'm walking hills at 24 years old, I'm paying the price. No doubt about it. Don't get it twisted. So
you did a lot of hills back in the day.
We
so,
did.
I mean,
That's another thing. Can I tell one more
Hawk,
story?
this is your next step, baby.
Yeah, it's coming.
There we go, Hawk. We got
really
Al
is.
Palomalo as our letterman later tonight. He's going to start talking to you about
This is
what happened.
So this is my final story. You mentioned the hill. There's a baseball hill that we run for conditioning in the summer all the time. It's notorious every summer. And I was with Blake Zalar, another Penn State football letterman. Love Blake to death. We look at the hill together. And we don't say anything. Blake starts walking a little faster as we're going up the hill to go into Beaver Stadium. And then Blake starts jogging. And then I start jogging. And we end up in a full sprint up this baseball hill that we used to run. I'm talking about dozens and dozens of times. I was out of breath until the third quarter. My cardio is done. It's crazy how fast you fall off. That's all I got to say for the rest of the show.
That's what happened.
You guys got it.
Yep.
Man, it is. No, there's two different. There's two hills that you do as Penn State football players. There's the basketball hill, and it's like, okay, that's not too bad. You've all seen that when you're going right on University and Haluba's to your left and Bryce Jordan's to your right. There's like a little hill. They just put steps on them, I think. We use those hills all the time. Now, there's a baseball hill that Aeneas was referring to.
Correct.
That is further down.
It's right where the game day RV park. If you look in the right field, there's a real steep hill right there.
Very steep. And so we used to run that quite frequently in the summertime.
Yeah.
Does the strength coaches use the track, the beach?
Oh,
You know,
I
I did the sand pit one time in my life, and it was awful.
Yeah, we had one day. This may have been right before you got there. We stopped using it towards the end of my career there, but we went over there one time and we hit the sand pit for an hour and a half, just doing various jumps and sprints in sand, which is completely unrelated to football, if you ask me. But we would do that. Then we'd go over to the track.
You never know when you're going to play in South.
You never know when you
Southern
gotta play in
California.
South
There's a
Beach.
beach there.
No doubt.
A Top Gun volleyball match might break out.
No
you know?
doubt.
You have no idea.
We're Penn State football. We have to be ready. So what we do after we do the sand pit workout is then go over to the track where we'd run 400 inches at 315 pounds in the summertime. So those were long days. Definitely don't miss them.
I'll never forget the last time and only time we were in the sand. I think that you as well. Someone threw up in the sandbox, and that is probably why we never went back.
It's not
I'm gonna
a
be
big
honest.
sandbox.
This
There's
is what
no.
we do, by the way. We talk up here. We don't have to talk about the game. We just tell stories, and it's like, whoa, it's 7 o'clock. We're done. All right.
Oh,
Well, all the time got ahead of us.
Well,
Wow, I have no idea what
I guess
happened.
that was Goons.
So I
cue.
go and talk to I go and do Landon's show yesterday, and he's down, depressed, and this and that. And I'm like, hey man, we're not out of this, and this is all I'm going to say. It's not out. The prize is still there. And Aeneas, you talked to me your Rose Bowl year. Remember, you were telling me where you said we are too well led.
Yep.
By a senior class and upperclassmen who are not going to let this go to hell.
Yeah, and I feel like
and you kept on saying these guys want the Rose Bowl. So we got Nolan Rucci on here next segment. We'll talk, but I mean, nothing has changed. Like the prize is still there. I know, and don't get me wrong, we're all upset. Everybody's upset. Everybody's frustrated. It is what it is. But the sun rose up Sunday morning and said, you know what, we got a couple more chances to make this right, and we can still make it right.
I thought Coach Franklin put it the right way, and college football has changed. This
Absolutely.
doesn't mean that anything is over. We can still get a home game.
Yep.
You get the opportunity to go to the playoffs, especially if you win out. And you talk about leadership, and I would call you to remember that a lot of those kids who are the leaders now were at the Rose Bowl. I think about guys like Nick Dawkins and Tyler Elsdon, Jalen Reed, or whoever you may want to point out. These are guys who have been there and done it before. And Landon, you got done playing even more recently than I have. How do you feel about this leadership now coming after a loss against Ohio State?
Yeah, it's strong. Look, you're going to see how they respond this week, but you've been through a lot. You've been through, obviously, this past week against Ohio State, but you fought back against USC on the road. We saw what Drew Aller was made of. West Virginia, obviously the whole, rain, weather delay, that situation, being down 10 to Bowling Green. This team is built from the leadership and they're top down. And, like you said, and Coach Franklin said this, look, every game is a big game when you're Penn State. And he was asked that before this. He said, look, Bowling Green was a big game. You try losing to Bowling Green as Penn State. See how that works out for you. It is a big game. No doubt. So every game matters from here on out. But no, I mean, it really, like Goon said, everything is still in front of you. Your goal to win the national championship is still right there, and even have a home playoff game. And I think
I'm a sadistic person, but I think it's better.
Yeah.
We're not having to play a Big Ten title game. You get one less game to go through.
Dude, that hurts.
Oh, well, so you don't have a Big Ten title, but you're still going to play for a national title. Still win a national title. That's the goal.
We forget about Big Ten titles if we win national titles.
Absolutely.
I would also say, not only do you get some more rest if you don't play in the Big Ten championship, but I mean, just talking to guys who played the other day, it doesn't seem like the vibe from the team or even the fans or the coaching staff is that they can't play with Ohio State. I just know that there were years when I was there, if we're speaking candidly, where we would lose the game by what looked like 12 points, but we knew we played the game of our lives and still lost by 2 possessions. I think Penn State football can play with anybody, and I feel like this roster believes that.
Yeah, well, Coach Coach Franklin said in his press conference today, he basically said, hey, I didn't want to say it. It wasn't appropriate to say it yet at the time yesterday, but this looked different. Like he basically was saying this was as much as it sucks to say that, and like he said, you can't really say it because it's not exactly appropriate as the head coach to say, hey, we lost better, but we did. Like the chances were there. Obviously, we just didn't finish in some situations, but the opportunity was there. I think that was the closest we've played Ohio State in a long time.
No doubt.
Obviously, it hurts to come away and not win, but
this is probably one of the best Ohio State teams in a while. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. That's the number 1 team in the country, guys. I know they lost to Oregon. That's a long trip that they had to make out there. They play Oregon again. They're going to beat Oregon. I mean, is that the best team in the country we saw Saturday?
I think it's very possible, but let's just put it this way. This year in college football, and really these past couple of years, since the NIL transfer portal stuff has started, it is any given Saturday. Yeah. Like anybody who goes out, the upsets just seem so much more likely. And it's not, this is a for sure win. It feels
Vanderbilt owns the state of Alabama.
That's a fact.
It is.
The Commodores own Alabama.
NIU beating Notre Dame. I mean, upsets happen every year, but it just feels like this year there is not a team you look at and go, oh, we can't beat them.
Yes. And that's where we're at right now. And that is that we had that game to win. And it didn't happen, but it's a big-ass step forward from where we were the last couple of years. So
massive step forward.
Take us into a break, baby.
We got to get to the break. We'll have Nolan Rucci on the other end. We'll have 3 offensive linemen on the set at once, which as a D tackle makes me want to throw up.
Oh, by the way, Hawk,
I hope you're excited.
Aeneas is going to go run away right now. I got to go for a little run right now.
This is ridiculous. Anyway, we'll be back.
So he's so young, he didn't beat you up. So you got that going for you, Hawk.
Nolan never laid his hands on me. Hopefully that doesn't change tonight. We'll be back on the other end of the Blue White Player Show.
WFXS. Your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA Sports Authority. WFXS America.
98.7 The Fox State College.
I'm the Modelo recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates, Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
The Center Hall Farm Store has been serving Center County and beyond for well over a half century. A small family business, the Center Hall Farm Store specializes in animal nutrition and manufactures its feed fresh using local ingredients. Get the best in horse, cow, pig, chicken, and bird feeds. If you're not already a customer, stop in and see why so many of your neighbors are. The Center Hall Farm Store at 110 West Allison Street in Center Hall, or call us at 814-364-1393.
Two of the top names in local printing have combined to serve you better. King Printing of State College has merged with theprinters.com, forming one of the 400 largest printers in America. Combining traditional offset printing and digital workflow techniques, theprinters.com can print, assemble, package, and ship to anywhere in the world, all with the same high quality customers have known and trusted for over 50 years. Buy local and save. Get started today at theprinters.com.
With a Timber Kids savings account, you can start to save money, earn prizes, and teach your kids the value of savings. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Building futures is what we do at TFCU.
You really need to belong to a credit union. You belong at TFCU, Timberland Federal Credit Union, a credit union you can grow with.
You're tuned in to the Blue and White Players Show with Keith Goon Conlon, Aeneas Hawkins, and Landon Tengwall. Broadcasting live from the 19th hole at the Penn State Golf Courses every Monday at 6 p.m. all season long. Special thanks to this season's sponsors of the Players Show: Lusk & Associates, Sotheby's International Realty, Turner Construction, Austin and Pam Schanfelter, Chris and Lisa Heydrich, Marco Rivera, and Sherry Lane. Now back to more of the Blue and White Players Show.
Welcome back into the Modelo Blue White Player Show. It is me and Keith Goon Conlon. We are now joined with Penn State offensive lineman Nolan Rucci. Nolan, thanks for coming in, brother. Appreciate it.
What's up, my brother?
Nolan, I got to say.
Why am I so loud?
Yeah, we got really loud.
You better move that closer there, young Tucker.
What just happened?
You.
Me.
Quiet.
Oh, we're going to get into it, but listen, Goon, I think Goon might look the youngest here on the set. I mean, freshly shaved. Can we?
Not happy about it.
Can we ask about how that before we get into some talks with Nolan?
Well, we all know that I shave the night before the first game, and I don't shave until we lose. So I had Father Christmas going there for a little bit. I mean, it was beautiful. My wife wouldn't look at me or talk to me at all. So you know how that works, bro.
My dad's the same way.
Huh?
I think my dad's the same way.
Yeah,
my mom does not like when he's got the scrub.
So the story is, here's you got young Nolan Rucci over here. His dad and his mother I went to college with. They were 3 years older than me, but many a night me and his dad would be driving up 322 Pennsylvania Turnpike. He'd pick me up in Downingtown. He had the ugliest, green, sloppiest car I've ever seen in my life. And one day, this is a little known secret about Keith Goon Conlon. I didn't have a license until I was 23.
Wow.
Your dad could not believe. Actually. He's like, dude, I'm dying. He's like, I'm falling asleep. And I'm like, dude, I can't drive. I don't have a license. He's like, dude, I'm dying. I'm like falling. And I'm like, and I'll talk to you. Then he's like, oh, Jesus God. We'll get through this. So I was like, hey, man, so where are you from, Dad? How you doing? So, I've watched your career since you were in high school, obviously, with your parents being friends and all that stuff. So glad to have you on, bro. And welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah,
State College, man. So, a couple of years, 2 years at Wisconsin?
2.5, and then, back here for, maybe another 2. But,
sorry, you're good there.
All right. Yeah,
sorry.
Better. But, we'll see. I mean, oh, my God, it's falling off my head now. But, I'm loving it so far.
If it fits my head, it's going to fit your head. I don't know if it's going to fit your mullet, though.
No, I think I probably need a haircut soon. I've had I probably had the same exact haircut since I've been in college, except for freshman year at Wisconsin. We did the little freshman haircuts. So I had the reverse skullet going, the shaved on the top, and toilet bowl haircut across the bottom. But yes, ever since I've really just been having this mullet.
How the coach handle that?
There were some tough conversations in the locker room after that, but
did he handle it well with because that's hazing now?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't really do that nowadays. I think that was the last year of that, but there's other ways you can initiate freshmen, but
I definitely. Your father was shaving our heads, by the way. So don't let him kid yourself. Don't let him kid you.
What was the hazing here?
That was it.
And you shave your head?
Yeah, I heard someone got their head shaved and
they
never grew back.
Joe flipped.
Oh, shoot.
They really did. So we came in as the #1 recruiting class in the country, and then they brought us in, and they humbled us quick. They wanted to knock us down a few pegs. So, I mean, this is when it was not cool. And I've said this before on shows. Like, black dudes did not have, like, shaved heads back then. Like, Jordan still had hair in 91, dude. You know what I mean? So these dudes, I mean, like, Kijana had that little high-top fade going on, looking like Gumby and the kid play Gumby, all this stuff. Cliff Scoop Dingle coming up from South Carolina had the high tap fade. It was unbelievable. They were mad. The old man, and then I was like, hey, whatever. Give me the reverse mohawk. I said, I'll rock it. I don't care. You know, my hair grows back like corn. So Kijana's never grew back. He still talks about it. He's like, man, see that picture right there? That's my hair, man. The first day on campus, they took it. That was the last time he had hair. He was bald ever since then. Did not have hair after that.
Oh, wow. That's
and Joe was furious because it was like, you can't do that nowadays and this and that. So we didn't have to do freshman entertainment because of that. So, oh, well. Yeah, I didn't get my head shaved, so I didn't have to do freshman entertainment. So
I've definitely heard some great stories from back in the day. Probably some you can tell in here, probably some you can't. So. No,
your father was a good God-fearing. Honest to God, he and I used to go to the rectory and the convent every weekend, and help the nuns and the priests out. Put chairs back in, get ready for Bible study and stuff like that. They were very appreciative. Every Friday and Saturday night, we never used to go out ever. We used to go to the rectory, and I see Al Palomalu over there just laughing, because he knows exactly what same rectory and church we're talking about. So, no, but your father was I consider him a great friend of mine, because he did take care of me and a lot of the younger guys. And we had some very, very good offensive linemen in my class. I mean, there's some
absolutely
NFL players, about 40 years of NFL players amongst the 4 or 5 of us, but he was always a good man, and he was 3 years older than us. And, you learn from the older guys. How do you know where dining hall is?
Yeah,
who's going to tell you?
I mean, I showed up here in January, and it was over classes where I'm showing up to get meals and all that. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely a system in place where you got to rely on the older guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Nolan, I do want to go back. So, I mean, obviously you grew up in PA. Did you go to a lot of Penn State games growing up? Were you like a big fan? What was that like?
Absolutely. Yeah. I've been stuck in those 2-hour lines of traffic coming up 7 Mountains.
Told your daddy should have bought a house 30 years ago.
Yeah. So
he had the NFL money then, but no.
He still got his season tickets. He never got rid of them. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's great when we're coming up because we can get extra tickets for my buddies and stuff. But yeah, coming back to a place I grew up at, coming to games, growing up, wanting to come here, and it really came full circle, to be honest. And to be here now, competing, having opportunities to play, it's been honestly a blessing, and been one of my greatest decisions ever coming back here.
No doubt. Would you say when you were like looking around when you were leaving Wisconsin, was it like, I want to go back home to Penn State, or were you kind of looking at some other places too?
I mean, I was floating a few ideas around. I think, the 2-hour drive versus a 14-hour drive was definitely a big part of it. I think, being closer to home, being closer to family and friends, and, coming to a place with such great offensive line play, and been putting out guys consistently over the past couple of years. And so, it definitely played a big role in my decision coming back.
So let's not kid ourselves. I mean, you're your mother's son.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you get your athleticism from her. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. There's a reason Todd married your mom. I mean,
for sure. Yeah. I think you got her 40 time and their vertical and all that.
Absolutely. Field hockey?
Yeah, for
right?
sure. So
absolute stud back in the day.
That's where I got it all from. And my older brother as well. So
I mean, that's when people say, "Oh, it's Todd Rucci's son," and this and that. Your mama was pretty damn good too. So Stacy knew what she was doing out there.
For sure.
And she wanted to, and then her family. Right,
yeah,
F&M coach.
Yeah,
right?
So her father played. Was a coach at F&M for 32 years, and then played on the 1960 Syracuse National Championship team with Jim Brown, and then was on the Colts with Unitas back in the 60s and 2. So I guess I got it from both sides of the family, fortunately. But
you got it from one side. Yeah. Sorry, Gooch. I love you, but you got your daddy's looks, but you got your mommy's athleticism. So that's a good thing.
Nolan, I do want to talk. You talk about coming into a place that's pumping out offensive linemen, and I think a place that is for a while there in like the 2010s was thought of. Obviously, offensive line play was struggling, and Coach Trout has brought this thing back. I think there's a ton of pride in this room. What does it mean to you to be a part of an offensive line unit that I think just from the top down, it is you could speak, but it's a prideful unit for sure.
Absolutely. It's definitely something special, coming from Wisconsin and, a couple different coaching changes. Having Trout as just, the rock of the offensive line coach of the room. And, he's obsessed with it. I think probably, more than a lot of the other guys, because he's in there day and night, making sure we're getting our notes, drawing up our plays for us and creating tests, just so, we know what to do each week and are prepared for each game. And so that's something I've been really appreciative since I came in. It's just the level of detail and attention that he pours into, his game. And I think it reflects. I think we got a lot of guys bought in our offensive line room. Everybody's been playing well. And I think, we got to keep it rolling this season and, keep growing as a unit.
No, I can't.
The biggest thing right now with our offensive line has been depth.
Yeah.
And you are an example of that. Somebody goes down, you're jumping right in there and we're not missing a beat.
Absolutely.
That is a beautiful thing to have, because that's what we have not had. I'm going to say 20 years, possibly 15, 20 years.
94?
Well, that's 30 years, Landon. So, let's not talk about those days. Jeez.
No, but
we have not had the depth. We've had a lot of guys go to the NFL and this and that, but if guys went down, it was like, oh, wow, well, now we're in trouble.
Dude, that's a Big Ten season. It's like you generally cannot expect to have everybody that you're starting the season with to have at the end. So I think, Coach Franklin does such a good job emphasizing depth and making sure younger guys get reps, and you never know what's going to happen towards the end of the season. But I do have to bring back, Coach Troutwine is the most detailed coach I have ever been around in my life.
Oh boy.
The test, if you haven't been through a Philip Troutwine test, and when I say test, throughout the week, and Coach Franklin wants us, to have tests due. Yeah, it's basically an exam, due basically Friday night, and it's a test on the opposing team. So, just to make sure you know what you're supposed to know. And Coach Troutwine, those tests are, and I've heard he's even taken it up a notch where you got some tests due on Tuesday.
Yeah,
and earlier in the week.
Some secret codes written throughout the paragraphs and stuff where we got to find word searches and all this. So yeah, he's really been amping it up, having some $20 rewards for who gets it first and stuff. So
I love it.
He's making it fun, but yeah, definitely challenging.
Dude, it is. And that really means because like you said, he's there day and night. And there is, trust me, there is a reason this Penn State offensive line has completely turned around. So I think Coach Trout deserves a lot of credit. And obviously the guys in the room, you guys are continuing a great tradition.
Just want to continue the tradition on. And everybody's dream, not dream, but your goal in Penn State or any college you go to is to be better than the ones before you. I had, in his father's class, I had Todd Rucci, John Gierek, Greg Huntington, Paul Seaver. There's 4 guys that go in the NFL right there, in my freshman and sophomore year. I'm not lying to lie to you. Okay, when I came to Penn State, and this is in 1991, your dad would have been a junior.
Yeah.
So there were 16 offensive linemen in our room who went to the league. I got shots. I got a shot. I got drafted. I didn't make it and all that. A couple guys got a couple tryouts and this and that. But there were 16 dudes in that room in 5 classes, that went on to the NFL or had a shot at the NFL. That's depth. That's where we're getting back to, and I love it. And it's tough to do right now with the generation of, I'm not playing. Well, I'm going to go somewhere else where I'm going to play. But people. You just make it to the point where it's like you got to make it's like, are you playing for your team? Are you playing for money and all that stuff? I get it, But offensive line play is so beyond that. I'm sorry. We're different. Sorry, Hawk. You keep eating your quesadillas over there. We're talking offensive line play. No, but it's a different thing. It's a different animal. Offensive line is a different animal in the team. We know, like I've told you before, we're mushrooms. They grow us in poop. They don't talk to us. They grow us in the dark. And we're supposed to, when the stuff hits the fan, we're supposed to be ready to go. When they're ready, that's what they do to us. So that's an offensive line thing in the NFL from decades ago. But that's what the offensive line position is. And it's a pride thing, and you got that pride. You have that Penn State offensive line pride, and that's handed down to you. And I think it's being handed down with Troutwine. It really, truly is. He's a legacy. I get that. But you know what? It doesn't matter if he's a legacy or not. He's still going to know that Penn State tradition.
100% right.
Absolutely.
Nolan Rucci, I have to ask you, man, what your first impression of Coach Leonard? So just for those, I just got to set the scene. Coach Leonard is an assistant offensive line coach for us at Penn State, just an absolute legend. He's been all over. He was Bill Belichick's right-hand man in New England, basically finding offensive linemen in the draft, that type of thing. And he's
in NCAA wrestlers.
Yes. He's done it. He's done it all. He screams very loud. And so he's in his last, couple years of coaching. He's been here for 2 years now. And so he's kind of ready to settle down, but this is kind of his last gig essentially. And he has become a beloved man here at Penn State. What has just your overall experience been like with Coach Leonard, and just a classic Italian dude? He'll curse at you and then he'll kiss you on the head.
No, I think he was after my dad, but I think Coach Leonard.
Todd was on that Bill Parcells.
Right. Yeah, it was Parcells, and then I think Belichick was one that canned him. But I think Coach Leonard's reputation preceded itself. When he was a tight ends coach still up at BC, my older brother and my parents went on a visit up there. They walk in the indoor during practice one day, and they just hear this voice yelling from all the way across the indoor. It's in the back corner where all the tight ends are at, and they're like, "Who do you think that is?" And it was Coach Leonard yelling at his tight ends. So, coming in here, I kind of knew what to expect from Coach Leonard, and I've loved it every piece of the way. He and I, when I first showed up, we went and got some Italian dinner over at Fascia Luna's. Had a little sit down, got to know each other a little bit more, and he's such an awesome dude. Just such a love for the game and the guys in the room, and Italian food as well. He's a great guy to have around, a great resource as an offensive lineman, and would really not have it any other way. I think having a guy like that around is awesome. Yeah,
he's coached at the highest level, and I will tell you, Frank Leonard, he doesn't make a lot of money here. He'll tell you he lives above Coach Franklin's garage, and he is happy. He is always with Coach Franklin,
he's got the
and he is just dude. He's got like
he gave me a little tour the one day.
Really, dude,
he's got everything he needs though. It's nice, it's quaint.
Yeah, all he does. No, there's some people, man. They just want to come in and coach football. That is Frank Leonard. That is what he has done all his life.
It's a lifer, baby.
Listen,
absolutely.
That's all you know.
So, young Gooch, we know where you came from. Where are we going? After the successful NFL career, what's on the line? What's your major here? What do you want to do with your life when you're done with the NFL?
So when I came to Penn State, I changed my major to geography because that's where a lot of my credits applied. There's a lot of the nice thing with geography. It's a super broad subject as far as, what kind of career path you want to get into. You can go the real estate side of things, site analysis, land surveying. You can also do all the satellite imagery type stuff, maybe looking at heat maps and cities and, electric grid distribution. But there's
there we go.
Bruce, we're getting deep here.
I think the military just called. They found a new recruit
here. Because when I first got to college, I think my first major was engineering mechanics, which is basically like rocket science. And then I got to, all those physics classes, and, taking football and doing that at the same time is definitely a little bit of a struggle for me at first. So when I changed majors, I was just looking for something that I could still find my interest in, find a good career path. And for me, that's geography right now. Where I want to go with it, I'm not quite sure yet. Still trying to figure that out in my second semester.
Thank God you got your mother's brains too. But, Lord on this.
I think my dad was kinesiology or something like that. I was kind of right up his alley.
Trainer.
Yeah, trainer.
I go train today. It was like, all right, Rich,
I don't think he uses it much, but
I don't think he uses it much. He told me he mows the lawn for like 3 days a week.
Yeah, that's his new job.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a good job to have, Bubba.
Ruch, I do have to ask you, man. So along those similar lines, let's say you got a bye week, you have the whole weekend off. What are you doing? What are some of your favorite things you get into?
Getting outside. I really like going fishing, golfing, especially in the summer. We like to get out and do that a lot. For me, I'm a terrible fly fisherman. So being from around here, I was very, very much used to bass fishing out in Wisconsin. So I still have to get a fly rod and try to figure out how to do all that. But it's been fun, getting outside and being with the guys on the team, and just exploring the land around State College. Just because you get 10 minutes out of the city, you're kind of in the middle of nowhere. So it's kind of your world is your oyster, and do whatever you want out there.
It is definitely a unique place for sure. Last question for you, Ruch, and we couldn't end this 3 offensive linemen. We couldn't end this any other way except talking about food. I have to know.
You said Fascia Luna. I was like,
yeah. You got Goon excited over there. what is your favorite food spot in State College? You can be surrounding area too. But you go to, you
better be a sponsor, otherwise I'm going to like body check. I was kidding.
Modelo's. No.
I think
there we go.
As an offensive lineman, I think cheesesteaks are a big part of my diet. So obviously, campus steaks is a big part of that.
Big Joe. Shout out Joe Ford.
Back home, well, it's not really back home. It's more like an hour from me. But if I had to go a spot in Philly, I'd probably go Geno's. I don't know if there's any Pats fans around here. I'm sorry, but
Roach.
Geno's for life.
Roach.
I'm putting that on the
Roach.
record.
This is on you. That's on you, Todd. Geno's?
Yeah. They do the I like the way they slice their steak.
You like it chopped, right? You ever been to D'Alessandro's in Roxborough?
You know, I went the one time. The line was like an hour long, so I went to the
worth
place
an hour.
next door. Yeah, I imagine.
Maybe for
so
good
that's
reason.
definitely a stop I gotta make.
So maybe the Goon will take young Gucci out.
Mm-hmm. That would be yeah. I go for that.
I mean, we could do that now. I mean, hell, back when me and your dad played, it was like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't have that. You're not allowed to do that. But all right, we'll take out a little food. You been to Troy's over Belfont for hoagie?
I think I got some learning to do. I think.
Yeah, we got some Troy's to get to. Sure.
Listen, I was once your size.
Yeah,
I was once your size. So this is your future, bro. Congratulations. All right. Woohoo! Hey, bro. Appreciate it. Love you, man. Your family always. All right. Thank you for coming on the show.
Appreciate
Good
it.
luck with the season. And you got a couple more years left here, right?
Yep.
Two more full?
Left. Yeah, 2 full.
I love it, man.
Let's do it. Awesome. We'll be right back with the Modelo's Blue-White Player Show.
WFXS. Your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority. WFXS America.
98.7 The Fox State College.
I'm the Modelo recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
The Center Hall Farm Store has been serving Center County and beyond for well over a half century. A small family business, the Center Hall Farm Store specializes in animal nutrition and manufactures its feed fresh using local ingredients. Get the best in horse, cow, pig, chicken, and bird feeds. If you're not already a customer, stop in and see why so many of your neighbors are. The Center Hall Farm Store at 110 West Allison Street in Center Hall, or call us at 814-364-1393.
Two of the top names in local printing have combined to serve you better. King Printing of State College has merged with theprinters.com, forming one of the 400 largest printers in America. Combining traditional offset printing and digital workflow techniques, theprinters.com can print, assemble, package, and ship to anywhere in the world, all with the same high quality customers have known and trusted for over 50 years. Buy local and save. Get started today at theprinters.com.
With a Timber Kids savings account, you can start to save money, earn prizes, and teach your kids the value of savings. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Building futures is what we do at TFCU.
You really need to belong to a credit union. You belong at TFCU, Timberland Federal Credit Union, a credit union you can grow with.
You're tuned in to the Blue and White Players Show with Keith Goon Conlon, Aeneas Hawkins, and Landon Tengwall. Broadcasting live from the 19th hole at the Penn State Golf Courses every Monday at 6 p.m. all season long. Special thanks to this season's sponsors of the Players Show: Lusk & Associates, Sotheby's International Realty, Turner Construction, Austin and Pam Schanfelter, Chris and Lisa Heydrich, Marco Rivera, and Sherry Lane. Now back to more of the Blue and White Players Show.
Welcome back into the Modelo Blue White Players Show. I'm Aeneas Hawkins back again. We finally got rid of one O lineman and brought a defensive lineman on the show. The man, the myth, the legend, Sir Al Palomalo. How are you doing today, sir?
Excellent. Hanging out with you guys. Can't get any better.
No doubt about it.
My man, Al.
We were over there sharing some stories about the old days, you and I. I didn't tell you this story, Goom. When I was 10 years old, I was at Steelers training camp, and Al's nephew, who everybody knows, Troy Polamalu.
Who?
You ever heard of him? Give him a Google.
There's an Al over here.
Anyway, so we're at Steelers training camp, and his nephew throws me over a bunch of like the D-line bags that were just laying around. He had plenty of time to stop, but at 24 years old, I still remember his nephew doing that. So it's a cool story. Small world.
He did the same thing.
He did the same thing to his uncle. Anyway, go ahead, Goo. I don't mean to.
We had the viewing party a couple weeks ago. We had a Troy Polamalu jersey to give out and this and that. And his own uncle said, "Dude, I don't even have one of them."
I don't.
Yeah.
The problem is I gave them all out. I
Yeah, I got
donated everybody.
There we go.
You know, because
We have a big head convention over here today, baby.
Troy
We got
would do
Rucci,
everything.
me. Holy crap.
Troy signed up for everything. He gave me everything I needed, and it got to the point where, whatever he signed, we always gave either to a donation in regards to the churches, to the kids, and all that stuff. So, don't ask anymore because I'm not giving it.
I know. I got to go this route. Okay. We talk about this off the air all the time, me and you. How the hell did Al Palomalo get to State College, Pennsylvania?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. How much time do you have?
We got 14 and a half minutes left,
All right.
baby.
So in 1982, my brother was the #1 linebacker in the country.
Okay.
And he comes out here for the visit and was like, "Oh, I'm going to Penn State. I'm going to Penn State. I'm going to Penn State." I said, "All right, cool." Well, back then, the signing day was the first Wednesday of February.
Correct.
My dad had a stroke on Monday.
Oh, Lord.
Right before signing day. And he ended up going to USC, became a 4-year starter at USC. And a couple years later, first of all, I'm a starting fullback. My brother is 6'1", 235 in high school.
Linebacker.
And tailback.
Just mauling people.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And I'm 5'10", 180-pound fullback and linebacker. So as people see him going through this whole recruiting process, I'm playing right next to him. I started linebacker as a sophomore, started fullback as a sophomore. So every time they saw him, they saw me.
Yep.
So as I'm getting recruited, he looks at me and goes, "You're going to Penn State." I look at him like, "Excuse me, I'm going to start cursing here. Excuse me," but I go, "Where the F is Penn State?" He goes, "It's in Pennsylvania." I go, "Okay, where the frick is Pennsylvania?"
Now, you are what part of California?
I'm Southern California. I went to Mater Dei High School, which is the #1 high school in the country. Now,
According to you.
Not now, not then. And then, so as I'm getting recruited, so February 4th, I had a basketball game on Thursday. I had to fly out February to come here. But February 4th, because I did it intentionally to be the last place I'm going to visit.
In what year?
1984.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sitting there. I fly out here, and I'm dressed like I'm going to Miami. I didn't know.
You have no idea.
I didn't know the weather difference.
This is true. I've literally
I'm a
seen
naive-
recruits come to Penn State, have no idea, and be like,
I'm a naive high school kid. I see Crockett dress. I'm like, I'm going to dress just like him.
Crockett being from Miami Vice. All my wives and her friends are like, "Who the hell's Crockett?" So, Crockett being from Miami Vice with the white on white,
Oh, I'm dressed like linen. I'm dressed in linen. I land in Pittsburgh. I'm like, "Oh, it looks cold out there," but I'm inside the airport. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm all right." Jump on this island hopper that the plane goes like this, propeller. Not in State College. And I put my hand on this window, and frost builds up.
First week of February.
And I'm like, what the hell am I getting myself into? And I said, I can't stay here. Well, unfortunately, he looks at me and goes, you got to get off because we're spending the night tonight. I'm dressed in a linen outfit. All I have is shorts in my bag. Not only that, so I land, and the week before I was at UNLV, they picked me up on the tarmac in a limousine.
Yep.
Had my thing, did my wedding, enjoyed life. I land here. I'm in this garage, which was the airport, and I walk out. So Tim Manoa, DJ Dozier, Tim Johnson, and Matt Kisner picked me up in a Celica. I'm looking at guys.
Now, Tim,
you guys are very impressive.
Tim Johnson's head's
bigger
there.
than
His name was Brickhead for a reason.
In a Celica.
So that's the front seat right there. So,
so
DJ Kisner and then Tim Manoa,
the other Polynesian
the other Polynesian, he's enormous.
Yeah. Well, Tim was my size. Thank God he was my size because that's what I wore. Was his clothes. So I literally got to the point where I'm like, I can't believe I'm here. Unfortunately, I told my brother I'm coming here, so there's no other decision that's going to be made.
So that's really what the decision was based off of.
Yeah, my family. It's always been family.
Yeah,
family says I do this, I do this. That's the way.
Now that's the Samoan culture, right?
That's the way it
We're
is.
seeing that with Tua down in Miami and this and that, where he's the you're royalty also. Aren't you royalty?
I'm sorry.
Aren't you royalty also?
Yeah, my mom was in the one of the last princesses of Samoa. She was related to the last king.
God bless, man. God bless.
Unfortunately, it doesn't mean a thing here.
Yes, it does. It does to me, baby.
Yeah, that's all
now. It gets me a free Modelo.
There you go. You can have as many Modelos as you want.
There you go.
By the way, how about this beautiful sign? Thank you from the people, the sponsors of Modelo right here.
That's very cool.
Fantastic. So you get here, you're on the 85 team, right? It's your freshman year?
84 to 88.
Okay, so you were here in the 84 team.
Yes.
Which is what people don't talk about. So
no,
you're redshirted that year. So
redshirted.
That
we
one
lost
didn't
to
happen.
West Virginia that year.
We don't talk about that 84 year. And my brother was on the 83 through 87, 86 team. So he and Al were friends and this and that. So I've known Al since I was 10 years old. So
give him his first lava.
I still have it at the house. Can't wait.
What can you break that down? What does that mean?
Right, so
lava.
When I first came to
lava.
When I first came to Pennsylvania,
okay.
Again, I'm Samoan. I'm an American Samoan. I was born in the South Pacific, raised in Southern California.
Okay.
Came to Penn State. Well, when I grew up, I didn't wear clothes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Some cultural
dream,
right
dude.
there.
And it's literally my dream.
If a white family came around, you put lavas on. You cover yourself. You put your clothes on, and your parents goes out there and presents you.
Okay.
So I never wore until I came to the United States. I wore shorts for the first time in 1972.
Wow.
I put shoes on for the first time in 1972. Socks? What the heck were those?
Right.
Wow. I'm a Samoan, Kerry. I'm pretty sure I'm a Samoan.
So when I came to Penn State in '84, I would wear this sarong, is basically what you call it.
Okay.
That everybody
That's
kind of
what people would
understands.
call them now.
And I'd wear them between practices.
Okay.
Easy, cool. You didn't have to sit there and struggle to put everything on. You just wrap around.
Good airflow. We're talking about airflow. We're all big people here.
And I had my sandals on.
We got crevices and stuff like
and
that. It's getting sweaty.
I would walk from Greenberg, which was back then Greenberg, was the only place that has 2 national titles coming out of that locker room.
Okay.
And to Pollock for meals.
Okay.
And I'd wear those lavas. And all of a sudden, the offensive lineman looked at me like, dude, what's that? It got to a point where you come out of the shower, you dry off, you put the lava on a t-shirt, and you walk.
Now, okay, so let me ask you: are lava still a thing today?
Oh yeah.
This is
all
still
the Samoans. Have you seen them getting drafted?
So okay, so that's what we're talking about. Okay, I've seen it. So I played with.
Well, that's a formal part.
That's okay.
So the ear lavas, which I've given to almost every offensive lineman here in 1980.
My brother, I'm telling you, he still freaking wears it.
Really?
I go down to the Super Bowl every year, and we'll get up on like the morning, like on Wednesday morning before we go out to where we're going to the Super Bowl. And he'll be sitting there making coffee, and he'll be wearing this. I'm like, why are you wearing a skirt? This is Lava Lava.
There you go.
And he goes, I've been wearing this since 1985.
Why stop now?
And I'm telling you, I told Al.
I just gave him a
it's shredded in corners. It's got burn marks. He's making bacon, so he's got like burn marks on it. It's like worn. The corners are like frayed. You see a little bit more than you're supposed to be seeing in Bucks like Lava Lava.
Yeah,
Al says, you know what? I got a Lava Lava for you. It's on my wall, but give it to Bucky.
So this is my question. What do I have to do to get on the Lava Lava list?
All you do is ask.
You guys are D linemen, so you guys should have that thing. It should be that little thing.
We're both D linemen here, same university.
You get all
the brotherhood, right? That's what they say. Okay, so that's what I'll do. I'll approach you formally. Maybe not on the show here.
You know what? It can't be done now this late in the year. We should have a Lava Lava tailgate.
Why?
Al and I tailgate like right next to each other. Can you imagine that? Like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, there's 3 people outside going, please don't do this. Please don't do this. I know what a Lava Lava is, and they should not be wearing Lava Lava. We should not be having a Lava Lava.
No. Linemen should not be wearing Lava Lavas.
Well, no. Linemen can wear Lava Lavas. Retired offensive linemen should not be wearing Lava Lavas.
True.
I mean, if they have one that's like up to here, like a girdle I can have, you know what I mean? Just,
So
just let them hang down a little bit.
Between whenever Troy played, for 12 years, we'd go back to Samoa every 2 years, and we'd help out the community there. He would, he'd bring all these equipments. So in Samoa, I don't know if you guys know, they don't have restrictions and laws and for safety in regards to football equipment.
Okay.
So all the equipment that the United States threw away, we would gather all those and take them to Samoa. You're talking about no chin straps, no buttons, no buckles. They use wire hangers to put everything together. Kids are they're sharing shoes. They're sharing mouthpieces. They come
now, what is the percentage of kids playing football in Samoa? That's their only way out, pretty much.
Well, I grew up there. We only played rugby. We didn't even have
you guys did. But what is it now?
Every kid plays football. Probably a good, I would say 20% make it into Division I.
Yeah. Think about that.
Right. And then
how many people are in
20%,
Samoa?
probably a good 8%.
So Brandon Noble, our good friend, graduated the year after me. You know Brandon very well, and Nias knows him very well. He's a D-line coach, did the college thing and all this, and he's over in Germany now. He's going to Copenhagen next year.
Okay.
He said all he wants to do, he tells Al, he goes, all I want to do is coach Polly's.
Listen.
He goes, that's all I want to do is coach a whole Polynesian defensive line.
They're gonna
watch film all day.
So I don't know if you've met Devon J. Thomas.
Yeah.
So Devon, he's my guy.
House all the time. What do you make him?
I did not close to you.
I make him masubi. I make him some sapsui, some rice.
Okay, so you guys are that's your boy.
Well, that's the same way I do with Vega too.
With Vega as well. Okay.
Well, they're the only Samoans I've ever had here.
No doubt. So that's what I was going to tell you. So we talk about Samoans and toughness, and Brandon wants all Samoan D line.
Yeah.
Listen, my dad, when I got to school, gave me a couple rules. One of them was if you get into an altercation with one of your Samoan teammates, walk away. You're not going to win.
Mm-hmm.
So Devon J. Thomas one time kept running his hand through my hair. He was a playful guy. I got mad. I told him to stop, threw his hand off of me. Devon hit me with the jab. Heavy-handed, strong guy. At this point, I'm like, I can't back down. I don't want to fight this kid, but I have to. I hit Devon I'm 310 pounds. I hit him as hard as I could. I've never smiled right at him. As soon as he smiled, my heart hit my toe. I'm like, oh my God, here we go.
I'm gonna die.
Here we go.
Yeah, the worst thing about that, if as somebody's parent, his mom and dad would probably kick his ass.
Probably.
For being involved.
No doubt. But that's my guy. I don't mean to tell on Devon here. Don't go tell his parents off.
No,
He'll be mad at me.
Rappa's going to kick his ass.
This Rappa does not play games. Let me ask you this, though. So, obviously being from there is a culture of toughness with those players that I've dealt with and so many other people have dealt with. How much of that is because of where you guys come from? I want to know more about that.
Well, for me, first of all, I'm the youngest of 11.
Okay.
And I'm the runt of the family.
Okay. If you're the runt of the family,
I'm
right.
5'10".
Yeah,
I'm literally the shortest defensive lineman I ever played. I started here. 5'10", 255 pounds. I played here. But I was quick as hell.
Yeah.
It got to the point where, but as it being toughness, If you don't win, you're getting your ass kicked at home.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do.
God, my mom was a Samoan.
You could have like literally knocked somebody's eyeball out, but you got your butt kicked. You're not coming home. Or the worst part is if you really disrespect somebody that's honorable, somebody that's trying to teach you a lesson. When that happens, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Because you're disgracing your family. And once you disgrace that family name, my mom and dad always said, look, you have one thing in this world is your name. You better live with that name. You better make it honorable. No matter if it's you die with it.
Yep.
And that's it. And if you can't prove yourself a man, then you might as well die.
Were my parents Samoan?
Probably.
Yeah, they probably. I think they have a little Samoan in them. So, all right, little known fact about Al.
What's that?
You wouldn't remember that. You're too young.
You don't try me.
There's a lot of people here who used to go to the All-American Rathskeller down on Pew Street, correct?
Yeah, I was.
Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Remember walking in, and above the bar, there was a little sign that said Samoa Court. It was a street sign. It said Samoa Court, and that was named after one person. Is this table right here?
Actually, it was stolen from the
Whoa. Hey.
Citrus Bowl.
Your family might be watching now. I was trying to help your families watch
Well, the
it.
funniest thing is the sign was like 10 feet high.
Yeah, you
Our
weren't reaching
roommates
that.
climbed it and took it off.
Where'd they get it?
From the Citrus Bowl.
The Citrus Bowl.
It was like, how high their sign is down there in Orlando?
I was about to say, were you guys in Orlando back then?
Yeah.
87?
My last bowl game was 87. That was my last game.
That was Citrus Bowl.
Yeah, and then I sat with Joe. I said, Joe, I can't walk. I'm done.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now, Alpha Alawa?
So I got my degree in hotel restaurant management, ran restaurants, was in sales and food. Now I am a regional guy for meatballs. You got a Polynesian guy selling meatballs in the Northeast.
Selling meatballs?
All the Italians here. Who doesn't know meatballs?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, my mama makes a good meatball.
So I'm going to bring you a whole bunch of Buena Vida meatballs to the.
We have a new sponsor, guys.
There you go. Just like that. Another
Modelo flavored meatballs.
Yeah, so I got into sales. I had kids, and I just, being in the restaurant business wasn't conducive to raising family. It's just horrible in regards to that.
And you were down in the Philly area, so
actually,
you have run in many different circles.
I actually went back to California. I started it there. It was an alumni from Penn State that gave me an opportunity out in California. So I did that and realized that I couldn't raise a family out there. Restaurant business stinks. You can't make any money on it, first of all. So I decided to get into sales, and Cisco actually hired me to come back to Pennsylvania and say, let's go do this. And then I got sales for 30 years, and now I'm in the business of the regional guy up here for meatballs.
Meatballs. What brand?
Buena Vida.
Where are they at?
Vineland, New Jersey.
I'm aware they're selling up here. Where do we know? Are they restaurants?
Still trying to work them in regards to Brothers, and also McClanahan's.
Yep.
Brothers, the bar, or Brothers, the restaurants?
The restaurants. And then the big chains have our we have, I can't even think right now, honestly. See what happens when I get here early. We have, I can't even think. I completely went blank. IKEA is one of our biggest accounts.
There you go.
IKEA meatballs are one of our biggest accounts. Then you have Mike's Sub. Is it Mike's Subs?
Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's. And Jersey Mike's is one of our bigger customers, as well as Subway.
So can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Just as the consumer of, I love meatballs. Don't get it twisted.
No.
He needs
the meatballs.
My question is this. So you say that you're the biggest supplier of IKEA. You're the biggest supplier of Subway. Are you telling me that?
It's actually sectional.
Okay.
Because they'll get a different contract somewhere else.
Okay. So my question is this. Are the meatballs the same at these different places? And I never realized it.
And why the hell is I'm hearing why are the IKEA meatballs not Swedish meatballs?
There's another fair question.
That's all.
We're asking the important. Okay.
We actually do IKEA's chicken meatballs.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Now, my last question for you here, because we do got to get to the break here soon. I'm curious, as one of the newer school guys, I had a little bit of NIL, 1 year of it.
Oh, God.
You didn't get NIL, obviously. I'm just curious from your
$12.
perspective. Yeah,
Yeah.
you probably were getting the $7 stipend to
$15 when they travel.
So as you look at Penn State now, and you look at college football now with NIL, I want to know what some of your thoughts and feelings are about the situation.
I think we're $15 million away from Ohio State.
Wow.
Okay. It's the first thing I want to say.
Okay.
That we're $15 million. Those who are out there complaining, put up some money.
Okay.
We'll get there if you bring that.
No doubt.
All right. The second thing is every kid deserves it.
Yeah.
Now, Joe,
not one person
everybody
here
to have
who's
it.
not going to deny that.
Okay. I have no problem with that. Do I like it? No. Because I'm just old style.
Right.
But they deserve it? Yes.
No doubt. And you guys deserved it. On that note, it's every. I mean, it's work.
I was going to get a check for $250,000, and me and you were still out slinging meatballs at IKEA.
Dude, Pell Grant. Pell Grant
You had
was
a Pell
the
Grant?
greatest thing because I was qualified. I came from a poor island.
You didn't qualify for Pell Grant.
I didn't qualify. my parents
Don't do
had a
that.
business, so I was done.
So
but
when
I
I-
always hated that. I brought this up before.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So what happened
No,
to
I
me,
don't
though,
have.
was
There's no disrespect to the guys who got it because I get why they get it. I understand that. But it's like my mom and dad weren't giving me $500,000, $600,000, $800,000 a semester.
Right.
So here's the problem with me, though. I came from Southern California. How am I getting
You
home?
needed to get home. Yeah.
Right.
So that Pell Grant.
Well, don't they have a
was
new thing
used to
that
go
the
home.
above and beyond like scholarship money? That's what that's for, type of thing.
Yeah,
right?
and I remember when we would have bowl trips or anything like that, we'd always get some money to go back home. We would get now I'm blanking on the word, reimbursed for any trips that we made per mile. It's a
What's his
slow
future
burn.
look like, Al?
Yeah.
So what we had, so this point in time, there was Tim Manoa. Tim Manoa's parents never came out.
I remember that.
Yes, they were in Hawaii.
They were at
can't
my
afford to come
tailgate.
here.
Yep,
So
I
guess
remember
what
this.
we
I
did?
remember this day.
Guess what the team did?
Yep.
We all donated money.
True story.
To bring his parents into the island or to Penn State
From Tonga.
for the first time they've ever been
That's
here.
awesome.
From Tonga.
Well, at that point in time, they were in Hawaii.
And then guess what they were wearing?
Lava lavas.
And they showed up, and they were the
Right.
most appreciative
Yeah.
people in the history of the world. They showed up, and they remember it was the Pitt game. I think it was Tim's last game at Penn State.
First of all, they were embarrassed because they couldn't afford to do it themselves.
There
That's
was
the
no
first,
embarrassing,
just
Bob.
because they're so humble.
Remember all the
Because they're
necklaces
humble.
they gave everybody?
Because
As
they were
their
humble,
little
they
signs of
realized it.
appreciation.
You know,
It
for
wasn't
me,
like a light or anything. It was like little nuts and stuff.
yeah, it wasn't.
I
the nuts.
remember-
It was literally real lace. But I had no family. My brother was the only one that ever came out to see me.
Mm.
You know, and he went to USC, so he got paid.
Oh.
So he was the only one that ever came out and saw me. I had nobody out here, and you're looking at a guy that would sit here during Christmas and sit at LB's hotel.
Mm-hmm.
While between January 21st to December 21st to December 26th, when we had to meet at the bowl game, I would sit at this hotel here for 4 years.
Yep.
Who the hell were your roommates? And why in
It
the
wasn't
hell were
that,
you
it
not
was
in the
Christ-
car
it
with
was
them?
Christmas. I did not want to be a bother.
You were being respectful. That's all it was.
If my brother was great. I saw Greg Truitt at the alumni meeting the other day.
Mhm.
And my brother, I mean,
my
my brother
culture,
snapper to our
you
house.
don't-
You wouldn't think he'd bring you?
You don't want to be a bother.
No.
Never, ever ask. That's the way it was. I sat in LB's from the 21st to the 26th, and then I'd go to the locker room, jump on that bus, go to the bowl game. After the bowl game, thank God the NCAA allowed them to pay for my trip home.
Wow.
Whichever direction I had to go.
Different era, man. Different era.
So Pell Grant, the NIL, I do believe it. I think every kid deserves it.
Sure they do.
But you got to look at these kids that never had this before in their lives.
Right.
There's a reason why NIL is needed. And those who don't see it, sit in my shoes.
Well, the problem is the people who don't understand it or don't realize it or don't understand, it's like the NCAA could have fixed this 40 years ago.
Yep.
And made it right to the point where it's not so just like drastic.
It's $1 billion.
It's a war, you know. I said on the Me and Landon show yesterday, I said every sport that has competed at the collegiate level, Division 3, 2, 1 AA, Division 1, every sport except for the most lucrative sport, every one of those sports has a playoff.
Yep.
Except for one, because we don't know, was it the bowl people making money? Who was making the money to making those decisions that we did not have a playoff? You know, and there's money involved, and there was billions and billions of dollars. Who was making that money? And the players were getting nothing. Like you and Landon, we talk about this all the time. Landon laughs at me, and I'm like, dude.
Here's the other problem that we have at Penn State. We have 31 division programs.
Correct.
And they all deserve NIL.
Yep.
You look at the SEC, what, any 17 Division I?
Alabama has 13 Division I.
13 Division I.
Yeah, less than half in a lot of places. Yeah.
So you're going to give them a $6 billion. Their check goes a lot farther than Penn State check, bringing it down 31 times.
So those who complain about us not winning, part of it is get off your ass and donate the damn money. Otherwise, don't complain.
I think we dropped the mic right there. I agree with you. Mr. Palomalu, we got to get out of here. This show is over with already. Right. We're out of our window, but listen, it's much appreciated. You're a legend in my eyes, my defensive line brother.
I'm going to the parking lot to eat meatballs. I don't know what the hell you're doing.
I know he's got them.
I'm running over to IKEA right now and get a couple balls.
We're going to use that Al Palomalu discount code at IKEA for the meatballs.
Come on over. They're sitting in the freezer at home.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm not kidding, dude. We should do a Lava Lava tailgate. That would be absolutely great.
Week 1 next year. Lava Lava. I'll wear one.
What about a Lava Lava show?
I'm on the list.
Opening day.
A Lava Lava show. Blue White Player Show. Lava Lava.
Thank you for tuning in to the Modelo Blue White Player Show. We will see you next week.